Ladies and gentlemen, let us open our hearts and minds to explore a subject that has lingered in the whispers of our history and the pages of human curiosity. There are moments in life when the extraordinary walks among the ordinary, hidden in plain sight. These moments remind us that the unseen often governs the seen, that the spiritual influences the natural, and that some individuals carry within them a profound mystery. You may encounter someone who seems to carry an unusual wisdom, a sense of knowing that defies explanation. Their words may pierce through your confusion and bring clarity to the chaos of your life. They are not just insightful. It's as though they can see beyond the veil of the present moment into a deeper realm of understanding. This is not mere intelligence. It is a connection to something transcendent, something divine. Be mindful of such individuals, for their gift is not merely for themselves. It is a reminder that wisdom comes from a place greater than us all. Have you ever known someone whose presence shifts the atmosphere of a room? They walk in and suddenly the energy changes. It may be peace that settles over you or a sense of awe that grips your heart. These individuals are not just charismatic, they carry an authority that cannot be taught or learned, it must be granted. Their influence is not loud or boastful, it is quiet but undeniable, like the wind moving through the trees. Pay attention, for their very presence may be a sign that they operate in realms unseen. Then there are those who have an uncanny ability to bring life where there was barrenness. They speak words, and it's as though seeds are planted in your soul, seeds that grow and flourish. You may find yourself inspired to dream again, to believe again, to hope again. These individuals seem to carry an unseen power to ignite transformation. Their touch, their words, their very being carries an essence of renewal, a breath of creation itself. They are not just encouragers, they are catalysts for the miraculous. You may also encounter someone who seems to know things about you that you never reveal. They speak of your struggles, your dreams, your fears, as though they've walked the roads of your heart. This is not mere intuition, it is as though they have access to a divine library, a place where the truth of who you are is written. They do not use this knowledge to manipulate, but to guide, to uplift, and to point you toward a higher calling. They are reminders that the Creator knows us deeply, even when we feel unknown. Then there are those who have an undeniable connection to the spiritual. They live with a purpose that is not bound by the material world. Their lives seem to be orchestrated by a higher hand, moving in alignment with a will greater than their own. They are not bound by fear or circumstance because they know who they are and whose they are. They are evidence that the natural is not all there is, that the eternal is at work even now. Let us remain alert to the extraordinary among us, for their presence is not accidental. Their gifts, their insights, and their very being challenge us to see beyond the surface, to seek deeper truths, and to live lives of purpose and intention. Life has a way of bringing individuals into our journey who seem ordinary at first glance, yet something about them stirs an awareness in us. They challenge our understanding of what is possible, and their very existence hints at mysteries far beyond what we can grasp. These individuals are often misunderstood, their gifts dismissed or feared by those who are not yet ready to see. But if we allow ourselves to look beyond the surface, we may discover that they are here not by chance but by purpose, carrying a message or an assignment meant to awaken something in us. Their wisdom flows like a river that refuses to be contained. They speak words that seem simple, yet their depth reaches into the core of your being. Their insight often comes at just the right moment, when you're standing at a crossroads or wrestling with a question that feels too big to answer. They seem to tap into a source that is beyond logic and reason, a source that pours out truth in ways that transform. This wisdom is not theirs alone. It comes from a divine wellspring. Those who carry it remind us that we too are connected to this source, if only we would seek it with humility and intention. Then there is the matter of their presence. When they enter a space, it feels as though the air shifts, as though the unseen has made itself known. Sometimes it's a sense of peace, a settling of the chaos within you. Other times it's a stirring, an awareness that you are standing on holy ground. It's not something they announce or even seem aware of themselves, yet it's undeniable. This presence is not tied to their appearance, their wealth, or their status. It is something spiritual, something eternal. They carry it because they have been entrusted with it, and their very lives challenge us to consider what it means to carry such a gift. These individuals have an uncanny ability to create transformation. It might be in the way they speak, the way they touch, or even the way they pray. They seem to awaken dormant potential in others, breathing life into dreams long forgotten. It's as though they are walking vessels of creation, partnering with the divine to bring forth what is good, true, and beautiful. They inspire not just because of what they do, but because of who they are. Their lives are testimonies that creation did not stop at the beginning of time, but continues even now through us. What often stands out most is their ability to know. They might speak to you about something you've never shared with anyone, not in a way that invades, but in a way that feels like being seen. They know your struggles, your hopes, your hidden fears, and they speak to these places with gentleness and purpose. This knowing is not natural, it is supernatural. It is as though they have access to a realm where truth is unveiled, a place where masks fall away, and only the essence of who we are remains. Their knowledge is not for their own gain, but for your healing and growth, a reminder that you are known and loved by the one who created you. As they move through life, their connection to the spiritual realm becomes evident. They live with a sense of purpose that is unshakable, a confidence that cannot be deterred by external circumstances. They are not driven by the opinions of others or by the fleeting rewards of this world. Their focus is higher, their vision clearer, and their faith unwavering. They do not boast of their connection, for they know it is not of their own doing. Yet their lives are living proof that the eternal is not distant or disconnected, but deeply involved in the fabric of our existence. Sometimes these individuals are met with resistance. Their gifts can provoke fear or skepticism in those who do not understand. The extraordinary often unsettles the ordinary, and the light they carry can make the shadows more visible. But even in the face of misunderstanding, they remain steadfast. They do not waver because they are anchored in something greater. They understand that their gifts are not for their comfort, but for the service of others, and they press on, even when the path is lonely. It is important to recognize that these individuals are not perfect. They are human with flaws and struggles like anyone else. But what sets them apart is their willingness to yield to the divine. They do not claim their gifts as their own, but see themselves as vessels, instruments through which something greater can flow. This humility is what makes their gifts so powerful, for it is not about them, it is about the source of their gifts, the one who empowers them to do what they could never do on their own. Their lives challenge us to examine our own. They remind us that we are not here by accident, that we each have a purpose and a calling. The extraordinary in them calls out to the extraordinary in us, awakening a hunger to live lives that matter. They are not here to be worshipped or envied, but to point us to the one who gives all good things. Their presence is a reminder that we too are connected to the divine, that we are capable of more than we dare to imagine. There is a weight to their existence. It says that they are carrying something sacred. This weight is not a burden, but a responsibility, one that they bear with grace and faithfulness. They do not seek attention or applause, for they know their reward is not of this world. Instead, they focus on the work before them, the lives they are meant to touch, the seeds they are called to plant. Their lives are marked by a quiet but powerful obedience, a willingness to go where they are sent and to do what they are called to do, no matter the cost. Their journey is not without challenges. The weight of their calling can be heavy, and the path is often steep and lonely. But they walk it with courage, knowing that they are not alone. They draw strength from their connection to the divine, leaning on a power that is greater than their own. They understand that their struggles are not in vain, that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and every trial a chance to deepen their faith. For those of us who encounter such individuals, the question is not whether they exist, but whether we are willing to see them for who they are. Are we open to the possibility that the extraordinary is walking among us? Are we willing to be challenged, inspired, and transformed by their presence? Their lives are an invitation, not just to witness the miraculous, but to participate in it, to step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. We must also remember that their gifts are not for entertainment or spectacle, but for a purpose. They are here to serve, to heal, to teach, and to guide. Their lives are not about them, but about the one who has called them. They are here to remind us of truths we may have forgotten, to point us to a reality greater than the one we see, and to call us into a deeper relationship with the divine. In our interactions with them, we must approach with humility and respect, not out of fear, but out of reverence for the mystery they represent. They are not here to be idolized, but to inspire. Their gifts are not for their glory, but for the glory of the one who gave them. And as we engage with them, we may find that their lives have a way of drawing us closer to our Creator, closer to the purpose for which we were made. Their existence is not an accident. They are part of a divine plan, a reminder that the world is not as mundane as it seems. Through their lives, we see glimpses of the eternal echoes of a truth that is too vast to be contained. They challenge us to lift our eyes, to see beyond the surface, and to live lives of intention, purpose, and faith. And so as we encounter such individuals, let us be open to the extraordinary. Let us be willing to learn, to grow, and to be transformed. For in doing so, we may find that the mystery they carry is not meant to remain with them alone. It is meant to awaken something in all of us, something that reminds us of who we truly are and who we are called to be. The presence of these extraordinary individuals is not random, it is intentional, woven into the fabric of existence by the hand of the Creator. Their lives are like beacons, shining light in dark places, offering guidance to those who wonder and hope to those who despair. Yet what they bring is not always immediately understood or even welcomed. The extraordinary can be unsettling, for it challenges the norms we have built around our understanding of life and reality. It shakes us from complacency and compels us to see with new eyes, to listen with open hearts, and to step into the unknown with faith. These individuals often walk a path of solitude, not because they desire isolation, but because their calling sets them apart. The weight of their purpose is one that few can truly understand, and they bear it with grace and perseverance. They are often misunderstood by those around them, labeled as strange or different. But their difference is not a weakness, it is their strength. It is a mark of their uniqueness, a testament to the divine work that is unfolding through them. They walk this path not for their own sake, but for the sake of others, for the lives they are meant to touch and the seeds they are called to plant. Their words carry a power that goes beyond mere communication. When they speak, it is as though they are drawing from a well of eternal truth, speaking directly to the heart of the matter. Their words have the ability to pierce through the noise of the world, cutting to the core of what truly matters. They do not speak to impress or to gain favor, they speak because they are compelled by something greater. Their words carry an authority that cannot be denied, and those who hear them often find themselves moved in ways they cannot explain. This authority is not something they claim for themselves, it is something that has been entrusted to them. It is a reflection of their connection to the divine, a sign that they are walking in alignment with their purpose. They do not seek to dominate or control, for they understand that true authority comes not from power, but from service. Their authority is rooted in humility, in the recognition that they are merely vessels for a greater work. And it is this humility that makes their words so impactful, for they speak not from their own wisdom, but from a wisdom that transcends them. Their presence often carries a sense of peace, a calm that seems to emanate from within. This peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of something greater. It is a peace that speaks to the soul, reminding us that we are not alone, that we are cared for, and that there is a purpose to our lives. This peace is not something they create, it is something they carry, a reflection of their connection to the source of all peace. And in their presence, we are reminded that this peace is available to us as well, if we are willing to seek it. At times, their presence can also be unsettling, not because they bring harm, but because they bring light. And light, by its very nature, reveals what has been hidden. In their presence, we may find ourselves confronted with truths we would rather avoid, with aspects of ourselves that we would rather keep in the shadows. But this confrontation is not meant to condemn, it is meant to heal. They bring light not to expose for the sake of exposure, but to bring clarity, to guide us toward wholeness and truth. Their ability to inspire transformation is one of their most remarkable gifts. They do not simply inspire change, they ignite it. Their lives are like sparks that set off a fire that consumes what no longer serves and refines what remains. They do this not through force, but through their presence, their words, and their actions. They remind us of what is possible, of what we are capable of, and of the divine power that is at work within us. Their very being is a testament to the transformative power of the divine, a power that is available to us all if we are willing to embrace it. One of the most profound aspects of their lives is their ability to see. They see beyond the surface, beyond what is immediately visible. They see potential where others see failure, hope where others see despair, and purpose where others see chaos. This vision is not their own, it is a gift, a reflection of their connection to the divine. They see with eyes of faith, eyes that recognize the hand of the Creator in all things. And in doing so, they challenge us to see as they see, to look beyond the surface and to recognize the divine work that is unfolding in our own lives. Their connection to the spiritual realm is evident in all they do. They do not live for the temporary, but for the eternal. Their focus is not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, for they understand that the unseen is more real than the seen. They live with a sense of purpose that goes beyond their own desires and ambitions. Their lives are not about them, they are about something greater, something eternal. And in their faithfulness to this purpose, they remind us of the eternal nature of our own lives, of the fact that we too are part of a story that is far greater than ourselves. Their journey is not without challenges. They face trials and tribulations, just as we all do. But what sets them apart is their response to these challenges. They do not shrink back in fear or despair, but press on with courage and faith. They understand that their struggles are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow, to learn, and to deepen their trust in the divine. They face their challenges not with their own strength, but with the strength of the one who sustains them. And in doing so, they show us what it means to live a life of faith. For those of us who encounter such individuals, their lives are an invitation. They invite us to see the world differently, to live with greater purpose, and to embrace the extraordinary. They remind us that we are not here by accident, that our lives have meaning, and that we are part of a divine plan. They call us to step into the fullness of who we are, to live lives that reflect the glory of the one who created us. Their presence is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a reminder that the extraordinary is closer than we think. These individuals are not meant to be worshipped or idolized. They are not here to draw attention to themselves, but to point us to the one who is the source of all good things. Their gifts are not for their own glory, but for the glory of the Creator. And as we engage with them, we are reminded that the same Creator who works through them is also at work in us. We too are called to live lives of purpose, to embrace the gifts we have been given, and to use them for the good of others. Their lives challenge us to examine our own. They remind us that we are capable of more than we realize, that we are connected to a power greater than ourselves, and that we are part of a story that is still being written. They call us to rise above the mundane, to live with intention and purpose, and to embrace the extraordinary. Their presence is a gift, a reminder that we are not alone, and that the divine is actively at work in our lives. And so as we encounter these individuals, let us open our hearts and minds to the extraordinary. Let us be willing to learn, to grow, and to be transformed. For in doing so, we may find that the mystery they carry is not meant to remain with them alone. It is meant to awaken something in us all. Something that reminds us of who we truly are and who we are called to be. Let us step into the fullness of that calling, embracing the divine work that is unfolding in and through us. These individuals are woven into the tapestry of life with intention, not merely to live their own story, but to influence the stories of others. Their lives are a reflection of something greater, a mirror held up to remind us that life is not confined to what we see and touch. They exist in the intersection between the visible and the invisible, between the ordinary and the extraordinary, and their purpose is often misunderstood because it challenges the boundaries of our understanding. Their presence is a call, not just to observe but to awaken, to step into a deeper reality that is available to us all. They carry within them a power that is not theirs alone. It is a power to shift atmospheres, to bring clarity where there is confusion, and to create a ripple effect of transformation that goes far beyond what they could achieve on their own. This power is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet and steady, rooted in a connection to something far greater than themselves. It is a reminder that true strength is not found in domination or control, but in humility, in the willingness to be a vessel for something higher. When you encounter such a person, you might find yourself inexplicably drawn to them, not because of what they say or do, but because of who they are. Their very being exudes a sense of authenticity, of alignment with a higher purpose. They are not perfect, and they do not claim to be, but their imperfections do not diminish their impact. Instead, their humanity makes their connection to the divine all the more powerful, for it shows that this connection is not reserved for the flawless, but is available to all who are willing to seek it. Their lives often serve as catalysts for change, not only in themselves, but in those around them. They have a way of drawing out the best in others, of calling forth gifts and talents that have lain dormant. They are like gardeners tending to the seeds of potential that exist within every person they meet. They water these seeds with their words, their actions, and their unwavering belief in what is possible. And as these seeds begin to grow, they remind us of the transformative power of love, faith, and purpose. One of the most striking things about them is their ability to perceive what others cannot. They see beyond the surface, beyond the masks that people wear and the facades they build. They see into the heart, into the essence of a person's being. This perception is not about judgment or condemnation, it is about understanding. They see not only who you are, but who you can become. And they speak to that potential with a clarity and conviction that is hard to ignore. Their vision is not theirs alone. It is a reflection of the divine perspective, a reminder that we are all seen and known at the deepest level. In their presence, you may find yourself feeling both comforted and challenged. They have a way of creating a space where you feel safe to be yourself, yet their very presence compels you to grow. They do not force change upon you, they simply invite you into it. Their lives are an example of what is possible when one surrenders to a higher purpose. And this example is often all the inspiration needed to take the first step toward transformation. Their connection to the spiritual realm is evident in the way they live. They do not merely talk about faith, they embody it. Their actions align with their beliefs, and their lives are a testament to the power of walking in alignment with divine truth. They do not waver in the face of adversity because they are anchored in something that cannot be shaken. This anchor is not a secret, it is available to all who seek it. Their lives are a reminder that faith is not just about belief, it is about action, about living in a way that reflects the reality of the unseen. The challenges they face are often greater than those faced by others, not because they are being punished, but because their calling requires it. They understand that growth comes through adversity, that the refining fire is necessary to bring forth the purest gold. They do not shy away from difficulty, they embrace it, knowing that it is shaping them into who they are meant to be. Their resilience is not their own, it is a gift, a reflection of the strength that comes from their connection to the divine. For those who observe their lives, it can be tempting to put them on a pedestal, to see them as something other than human. But this is a mistake, for their humanity is a crucial part of their story. They are not extraordinary because they are different from us. They are extraordinary because they have embraced the fullness of who they are called to be. Their lives are a reminder that we too are capable of living with purpose and intention, of stepping into the extraordinary. Their presence often stirs something within us, a longing for more, a desire to connect with the divine in a deeper way. This longing is not accidental, it is a reflection of our true nature, a reminder that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Their lives call us to remember this truth, to step out of the mundane and into the eternal. They challenge us to live with intention, to embrace our gifts, and to use them for the greater good. They do not seek recognition or applause, for their motivation is not external. They are driven by an internal compass, one that is aligned with a higher purpose. Their lives are not about them, they are about the work they are called to do, the lives they are meant to impact, and the legacy they are meant to leave. They understand that true fulfillment comes not from seeking one's own glory, but from serving others, from being a conduit for the divine. Their journey is not one of ease, but it is one of joy. This joy is not dependent on circumstances, it is a reflection of their alignment with their purpose. It is a joy that cannot be shaken, a joy that comes from knowing they are exactly where they are meant to be. This joy is contagious, spreading to those around them and reminding us all that true joy is found not in what we have, but in who we are. As we encounter these individuals, we are faced with a choice. We can choose to dismiss them, to write them off as anomalies or coincidences. Or we can choose to see them for what they are: messengers, reminders, and guides. Their lives are an invitation, a call to step into the fullness of our own purpose, to embrace the gifts we have been given, and to live lives that reflect the glory of the Creator. Their presence is not accidental, nor is it reserved for a select few. It is a reminder that we are all connected, that we are all part of a greater story. They are not here to make us feel small. They are here to remind us of how vast and powerful we truly are when we align ourselves with the divine. They are not the exception, they are the example, the proof that the extraordinary is within reach for all who are willing to seek it. In their lives, we see a reflection of what is possible when one surrenders to a higher purpose, when one chooses to live not for oneself, but for something greater. They remind us that we are not here by accident, that our lives have meaning, and that we are part of a divine plan. Their presence is a gift, a reminder that the extraordinary is closer than we think, and that we too are called to live lives of purpose, faith, and love. And so, as we reflect on the lives of these extraordinary individuals, let us recognize the truth they embody. We are all called to something greater. Their presence in our lives is not merely to inspire admiration, but to awaken action. They are reminders that the same divine power at work in them is also at work in us. Each of us has a purpose, a gift, a calling, and a unique role in the unfolding story of creation. The question is not whether we are capable, it is whether we are willing. Will we embrace the extraordinary within us? Will we rise to the challenge of living with intention, faith, and courage? Will we allow our lives to reflect the light and truth we are called to carry? These are the questions their lives compel us to ask, and the answers are found not in words, but in how we choose to live. Let us not be content to merely observe the extraordinary in others. Let us step into it ourselves. Let us boldly love deeply and walk faithfully in the path set before us. For the greatest tragedy is not a life of struggle, but a life unlived, a purpose unrealized, a gift left unopened. You are here for a reason, and the world is waiting for what only you can bring. So go forth. Embrace the mystery, carry the light, and be the difference you were created to make. The extraordinary is not beyond you, it is within you, waiting to be unleashed. Live in a way that not only transforms your life, but leaves a legacy that inspires others to do the same. The time is now, and the calling is yours. Will you answer?